Hi, my name's Christian Hoyle. This is my YouTube channel. If you've not yet subscribed yet, hit the bottom right hand corner. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of my last videos I've been making over the last few years, which is Appleby Horse Fair. So I've wrote a few questions out. Here's a little few clips of what the fair's like, and then next thing's going to be my opinions on the day and a few questions that I'm going to answer. Thanks.
Because it's the bestest place to come, and Appleby is the bestest fair in the world.
Well done, lad. Spot on. Well done, lad.
I should have come out with what I gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out. I know you heard it all before, that they never really got it down. I don't believe in anybody feels the way I do about you now.
How did I first discover the fair? This is an interesting one because I've got to be honest, I live in Kendal, which is in the Lake District, which is around about a 30-minute drive to Appleby. And I'll be honest, I'd heard about the fair and I was, I don't like saying it, but I was a little bit scared. And now I came to go the first time, which was in 2015. I was out on a Friday night with some of my friends, older friends, you know, and I class myself as someone who can handle situations. And I said to my friend, who I wouldn't have thought would go to something like this, I said, "What are you doing tomorrow?" And he goes, "I'm going to Appleby Fair." And I went, "Oh yeah." And I expressed this about being a little bit frightened about, scared about it, what I hear about stuff and whatnot. And he says, "I've been going every year. You'll absolutely love it. You should get yourself there, take the kids." So that's simply how it happened. So from that day in 2015, I went, and it was the worst weather. I took my two little kids. It was like raining, it was windy. I still had a good day, but obviously the weather has an impact. We are in Britain. But yeah, I was scared. And you know, I had nothing to be scared of, and I'll get to show that later on. The atmosphere, you get there and there's just so many people everywhere. And so I'm coming there to film. And so what I do is I just take my camera, I get out the car and I film from the beginning of the day. So if you look at the previous ones, previous videos, as soon as I get out, instantly I want to film people and talk to them. And I'll tell you one thing that happens every time. People want to talk about their experiences, want to talk about their love for it. It's such a massive thing for people who are attending. It's like lots of people have been going for years and years and years. So it's just full of passion, people laughing, enjoying themselves. It's that kind of atmosphere. And the one thing I can definitely tell you, and this is, you know, you can see it from my videos, but I genuinely film everything. Every single person that I go to, I'll say 99% because there's always a 1%, I go up to and I talk about it. They were happy to ask any questions, tell me what they're doing, tell me about the horses, tell me about what they like about it. Anything I ask, I always get answered. And it's just, for me, as a normal member of society, as a non-travelling, not part of the travelling community, for me, I go to a lot of places and I don't quite feel that acceptance that I do everywhere else. You know, it's not, you know, everywhere I go, where are large places, I don't feel I can get the same things as I can get when I go there. So yeah, it's just full, it's vibrant, it's like a carnival kind of thing. It's just, yeah, it's electrifying. That's the atmosphere. Definite misconception is, like I said at the beginning, that I was scared to go because of everything that spoke about the community and whatnot. And that fear stopped me wanting to go. And fear is such a large emotion that can get in the way of everything. So once you take that away, you remember that the misconception is that I was going to be frightened. People were going to be doing things to me. They're not going to be nice. I was going to feel different. I was going to feel, you know, out of place. And that, for me personally, and I can only talk about my experience, and I'm only here to talk about the actual fair, because that's what I do. I go to the fair and I just enjoy a fair. So for me, that misconception is that it's not going to be as it was. You know, that it's fear. You know, fear's something that you create, and then it adds to loads of other things, ways you're thinking, and next minute you're trapped in it. You know, anyone living in fear will know all about this. And yeah, and it's that, the misconception that it's going to be a certain thing, because if you read about the community and everything, you'd have these misconceptions. But on that day of the fair, as a non-travelling community member, I feel fully part of the fair, fully accepted and fully welcomed. And that's my interpretation. I know that lots of people have different ones, and I know the comment section will go mad in how you want me to feel from it. But I can only talk about my experience and not anyone else's. And it's it's good. I have a good time. And, you know, that is one of the misconceptions. And, you know, it's a different culture. And on that day, they let me into it. And I find out a lot. And it's interesting. It's not my culture, but it's just an interesting day. And I love it. Oh, this is easy. I want to talk to you about a guy called David Waggett. So I'm going to include it now. Actually, David Waggett for me is an all-time hero. Just touched my soul. This guy did, because I happen to be here now. I'll just show it you. Now, here's the clip.
That fucker's gone in the water. Well done, lad. Spot on. Well done, lad.
You know, I was there, and I'd like to think I'm always that person who helps people out and wants to do it. And for some reason, it didn't come into my head. We were down by the river, and then someone's dipping it in and they start drowning. There was loads of people there, and you can just, I watched it again, I haven't seen it for a bit. You can watch David Waggett the way that everyone else was just stationary. He just, this guy is a superhero, and this guy should have received an acknowledgement for it. I don't know whether he did at the community or something in life, but what a amazing person. The way he just jumped in and just did it. I personally felt really touched by that. What a geezer. You just see him when I said thank him at the end, and I just think he did it for no reason. He did it just because he's that guy who is a hero. You don't meet many heroes in your life. You meet a lot of people, they say they're a hero. David Waggett is a hero for me, and it's definitely the most interesting thing. That's probably one of the top 10 things in my life. It's not the kind of thing you want to see, and on that day it was great because he saved that person's life. And it was just, yeah, mind-blowing. So David Waggett, you're a hero, mate, and I'll never ever forget you. Right, this is a touchy subject, so all I can say is I don't really know about locals' opinions. All I know is every time I do a video in the comments section, because it gets a lot of views, that I get good comments, because they look at my video and see this is just me going to somewhere and just having a good time and just showing that. I'm not getting involved in other issues. I'm not there to judge. I'm not there to cast opinion. I'm there just to see if I can have a good time and show it in my film. So I do receive a lot of negative comments, but the interesting thing is whenever I go back to the fair, no one ever, like, you know, that was my third time of recording. No one from locally comes up to me and says anything. But what I do understand is if I lived near Leeds Festival, if I lived near Glastonbury, if I lived in certain Manchester places where there's nightclubs, anything that involves loads of drink will always have problems. Alcohol creates fun, joy, they're the great bits. It also creates a lot of problem. Fighting, aggression, people saying things that they don't mean, stupid things. So I can understand that. From what I've done about it, the fair's been going since 1900, as for the travelling community. So I do see lots of locals enjoying the day though. When I'm there, I walk down the road and they're sat in the garden and they're being a part of it. And I think for me, it's like, it's a thing of life. Like, I get told in the comment section how I should feel. You should say this. You're not mentioning that. You're not mentioning that. I'm not here for that. I'm just, my YouTube channel's not about that. It's about me being me, going places and people allowing me to have a good time. And that's all I see. And I mean no harm to anyone of the residents of anything. I understand, like, to be near a big gathering like that's a nightmare. Imagine being near, you know, like Glastonbury's another one, or being near any of them. It'd be a nightmare for when people are there, because it causes chaos on the roads. There's loads of people there. There's problems. There's always problems and stuff, you know. Glastonbury has his own policing. So yeah, I can't really comment on that, but I'm happy if any of them do want to have a conversation, we do want to record a video, I'd be happy to record that video. Straight away, one of the challenges of the fair is when you get lots of people and they drink a lot, there's going to be problems. That's with everything, isn't it? You know, going to any town in the UK and there's drink-related problems everywhere. Go to any large gathering, even at like events that should be decent events, like a wedding. Let's look at a wedding. Like, as soon as you put alcohol in, people act differently, so you have problems with that. But one thing I want to say is, I think the police presence, the way the police do the policing on that day is immense. I think they do an amazing job. I think the way that they liaise with people when they're there is just out of this world. And you know what? I genuinely think policing is one of the most difficult jobs in the world, and I respect you all for doing it. And I appreciate the fact we need police, totally. And you don't get paid enough, you do crap hours, and you turn up on that day. And I know there's probably a bit of friction between you, the police, and the community, but I think you do a great job. And I think, yeah, that's one of the main challenges. And obviously the horse-related stuff, add alcohol, people riding horses, that becomes another one. I saw an incident, I can't remember the hill, this is really bad of me, should remember it, where they go faster on it. And I was filming myself and I saw someone going way too fast on a horse, way too fast, a young lad. And he ended up catching on the side of something, turning the horse up. Oh, it was horrible. It was just like so sad. And I know that there was a fatality this year of someone, which is a total accident. And you know that's you know, large events do have things do happen, and you know they're the two of the things that I see. But it doesn't in any way fault of the day for me. But I can imagine that's one of the major problems that goes on there. Yeah, so I used to be absolutely petrified of horses, like ridiculously. You go to Appleby Fair and it's mad, you walk in and there's just a horse next to you. You're like, it's so busy, and they're just walking by your side and whatnot, and getting used to that. Just horses, I've never seen as many. They're absolutely everywhere, and I've actually started reducing the fear and actually starting to love. I mean, I'm a big animal lover and I'm starting to love them, and yeah, that's an interesting thing. And like the dipping in the water, I've never seen anything like that in my life. And it's a big tradition, and I can see it, and people get a lot from that. And yeah, I see that going on. So there's definitely a thing that, you know, I've never been around horses my whole life, so I don't know about that. I don't know about, this is a community that has traditions and values I don't know anything about. I just know I turn up on the day and enjoy it, and everyone makes me feel welcome. Yeah, but yeah, it's interesting. I really think this question is really important to add, because although I know nothing about the culture, all I can say is that for 3 years I've made 3 films and I've seen the comments that get put, and I've never seen a culture or race ever as much stereotyped into one bracket. And I found that hard, because I admitted at the beginning I had this reservation about being scared to go, but what I've seen in the comments, it's like, it's so stereotyped that if you're a traveller or you're a gypsy, you fall into a category. I've never seen that before in my life, where you would categorise someone within it. And I feel it's unfair to label people to that. You know, some of the things that people, it will be true. That's like every single part of society has that. It's a small section. It's not everything's everything. You know, if you go on a council estate, there's some amazing, I'd say 99% of people are amazing, but we always look at the 1% who lets us down. And look, being British, you know, if you look at any of the British abroad, like Spain, any parts of Spain, Magaluf, Benidorm, then it's that small percentage that make us look like we're not the people we are. We're great people, and it's the youngsters on the drink who make it look that way. And I've never seen the stereotyping, and I find it offensive that you should always label someone as this or as that when it isn't that. Go to Appleby Horse Fair and make your own mind up about it, because that's what I did, and I saw love to me and kindness, and that's, for me, is everything in life. Thanks for watching my video. And I'd recommend it if anyone wants to go and see something, experience it, have a good time. Every single time I've gone, I've had a good time. I feel welcomed, I feel accepted. I have fun every single time, so I'd recommend that you go. And so thanks for everyone who watches my video and shares my video. The comment section is going to probably go mad now with either way, but I just wanted to put my point across. I'm just one person who just goes along, enjoys the thing, and doesn't judge it and just be there for the moment. I'm not here for that, and I know that lots of people want me to be, but I'm just me, Christian Hoyle, arriving at a fair, having a good time and showing it you. And if I didn't have a good time, I'd show that as well. But thanks so much for watching my video, much appreciated.